It's difficult enough to determine what your current income and your taxes are going to be for this current year. How about next year? What do we think our taxes are going to be next year? What do we think our income is going to project to be next year? How about 5 years out? How about 10 years out? How about 25 years out? How about to the end of life? There is a tool out there called the Income and Tax Planner, available out in the Google store, available out in the Windows 10 store, and also we'll provide a URL in the information of this video to help you to bring up and use this tool for free. So let me walk you through an example that shows a typical individual and what their income and tax planning in this tool would look like. It help you prepare for the future and what it's going to be like. Also allows you to do a number of what if scenarios to change your income and or change your tax strategy for the future. For instance, let's just go through the quick setup here. We're going to actually start back in 2018. That's when the last tax change happened. We can choose any year all the way back to 1990 if you want, or just choose the current year. We're going to say at that time in 2018, this individual is 30 years old, is married. His wife is also 30 years old, and they do have children. And in this tool, we can put up to 6 children, 7 children. And you basically just have to put what year they're born and what year you think they're going to attend college, if they are going to attend college. And basically, that is just for your college tax credit. And also the year for the children is for your child tax credits. So then basically we want to get into the income. So we have to tell the tool in 2018, shows you the 2018, what year or what's the income of that individual. So here it says the spouse or the primary earner was making 75,000. The spouse was making 45,000. Both of them had projected increases of 3% a year. They did have a reimbursement pre-tax account of $1,000 a year. That was expected to grow at 5% a year. And their health insurance was $2,400 a year, expected to grow at 7%. They were in the state of California. They are in the state of California, and they're both filing joint. And by the way, we allow the ability for you to change states. So you can change your state on the modification tab. And in 5 years out, if you want to move to a different state, it will give you the new tax rate for that state. We include all 50 states and DC in all the tax rates and project those forward. So very, very key information if you want to see what the scenarios are for moving around. The other part of the equation, obviously on the income and tax, is to tell us when you're going to quit working. So both these individuals are going to quit working at 67, and when you want your Social Security or pension to start. And both of them say, well, we're going to quit working at 67. Let's start collecting our pensions at 67. And I went out to a Social Security website, and it projected that my income at 67 would be $36,000 a year for the primary individual and $20,000 a year for the secondary individual. And then we're also going to supplement that with investment income. So with what we've saved, we project we can put $10,000 a year out of taxable income and $25,000 out of our IRAs, which is non-taxable. I should say that this would be like an IRA that all the income is taxable, and this may be coming out of let's say a Roth IRA. We're going to get $25,000 a year. And we're going to start this at 67, and I want to make sure both these are the same. So let's put these both at 67. And we're just going to grow that income at 3% a year. So this is the section I was telling you about that we can actually change. So I can change all the dates in here and say we want to change our state. We want to change our income level has a significant jump. So we can change all that data in this modify table, and I don't want to take you through that now, but please play around with that, do your what if scenarios, and that can you can do find a lot of really interesting information on doing that sort of stuff. Okay, so we give you a bunch of 7 different tax information on income and taxes. So the first one is just your summary. So it gives you what your gross income is, your net income, and your taxes are. And you can see gross income grows to roughly about $92,000 a year. Net income is about $70,000 a year. And total taxes, the gross income grows to about $330,000 a year. The total net income about $225,000 a year, and the total taxes grow to $113,000 a year, and that's clear out at age 67. And you can see what the curve looks like as all those grow. We hit retirement, so our earned income basically drops to 0. We still do have some taxes, obviously, because we're pulling out taxable income on a big chunk of our retirement, so that will be taxable. It also knows how much of your Social Security tax based on your income. Okay, so that's income summary. Our tax summary gives us our projection of our federal income tax, state income tax, Social Security, and Medicare tax. So you can see what those grow over the years. Effective tax rates. So it gives you, if you take all of your taxes divided by all your income, that is basically your effective tax rate. So even though your marginal tax rate or your top tax rate, you may be in the 25% range, your effective tax rate is going to be much smaller because it's taken all the lower ranges as you progress up through your graduated tax. So for instance, this individual, the highest effective tax rate they get into is 20%, and the highest state tax rate they get into is 6%. And then obviously after retirement, it significantly drops down. So you can really show what your tax rates, effective tax rate are after retirement. And then we can look at income of the primary, the spouse, what's coming out of Roth, what's coming out of our other investment incomes. So that shows you where your money's coming from. Very interesting. Here is the filing status. So if we want to change our states, if we're single at this point and we plan on getting married in 5 years, you can put that out here in the modify section, and it will change all your tax structure to modify to what your new filing status will be. Deductions, exemptions. So this is also very important. So tells you what your federal deductions and federal exemptions are. So if we would have went back to 2016 where we actually had exemptions, you would have seen the federal exemptions pick up. But right now they're just federal deductions. And so you can see the state and the federal deductions. And finally is tax credits. So here you can see where we actually have a child tax credit. So we had a bump here back in 2018 of the $2,500 tax credit. And then obviously when that child turns 17, we lose that credit. However, they start college. So we said we're going to start college. And so you actually get a college tax credit of $2,700 a year. So that's very important. So if you have multiple kids, obviously it significantly reduces your taxes either by the child exemption or the college tax credits. So anyway, this is a very handy tool to help you plan all your income, all of your taxes from now or back to 1990, as far back as you really want to go, and then project that forward. So hope you either download these tools from the applications on Google Play or else on Windows Store. They're free, or else use the URL in the information below, and that will link you directly to a website URL that you can also use to view the tool. Hope you use it and enjoy.